quick little disclaimer. I found out at the very end of filming my videos for the day that the sound is off, and I don't know why. So my mic is not working for some reason. I don't know what happened, so please just bear with me. I know the sound is bad in this video. If you could just bear with me on this one, and then there's one more where the sound's gonna be a bit funky, and I will get this fixed. So I'm sorry, I hope your ears are okay, and I will get this fixed for you guys as soon as I can. This is frustrating. Okay, on with the video. Thanks for being compassionate with me. Hi guys, it's Joy. I just looked in my monitor, and I know people have talked about this. My setup is so boring. When I can get some more money going on this channel and I'm in a bit of a better place, I'm gonna figure out how to decorate. I might have to have Irate Puffin or the Canadian or D or somebody. I hope they know who they are. They probably will. I don't think those girls are probably too busy to watch my content anyways, but I'm like, this is so boring. And guys, as it is, as it will be, as it sometimes is, I got my water here because got some funny health stuff. Not severe, but it's enough where it's like, ugh, so I better have that together. Also, again, we have another rainbow shirt, and look at this. I didn't show you guys this. I totally match because I'm wearing my pink pajama pants. Well, they're not pajamas, they're like sweatpants, and then these. And I have socks on. I know I typically hate sandals with socks, but A, I'm at home, who cares? And B, feet are cold. Part of the fun of pots and dysautonomia, but that's okay because I'm here, y'all here, and we're just gonna kick it, and we're gonna talk again about Ryland. So I have been seeing a few things here and there, and I also know how the drama circles seem to go, and people are furious at Ryland for his podcast. Honestly, Ryland can do absolutely this much right. No matter what, I just feel like he and Shane are in this position. No matter what they do, everybody hates them, and I know what that feels like. I've been in that position, and it's horrible. And especially if there's either no evidence for rumors or it's lies, it's a horrible, horrible feeling. So I want to document some things that I am seeing and I'm hearing from people saying, oh, how dare they, blah, 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 and all of this stuff. So I have a clip I want you guys to see from the podcast. So Ryland put out a podcast recently. You guys know he has that podcast with Lizzie. And people seem to be upset over a few things, and we're going to break it down. So I'm going to let them take it away, and then you guys know I like to dive deep. So take it away, Ryland and Lizzie.
I just so for a period of time I was doing kind of okay because my TikTok feed was just full of driver's license shit, and it was I was living, it was beautiful, it was nice, the world was coming together on something. And then this thing pops into my feed about how we've gone back a dimension.
What do you mean?
We're dimension regression. Let me lead you in. How do you remember the Monopoly guy on the Monopoly box?
Oh, there's a specific word for this, the Mandela effect.
Yeah, but how do you remember this motherfucker?
With a monocule. That's what it's called, I think.
It's called a monocle, my sweet boy. Oh. With a molecule. A few molecules, in fact, bouncing off of each other to form a human body.
Do you like how I so confidently then go to justify exactly what it is? What, are you going to tell me he doesn't have one?
I'm telling you he doesn't fucking have one.
Just go back and watch some of Shane's old videos. He's done 10 Mandela effect videos.
That's with the monocle? Really?
Yes, yeah, that's one of them. The bear books that we all love.
Bears.
Yep, the
Bernstein.
We'll
Who
never
knows?
know.
Who knows? But then this specific TikTok, this girl pulls out an old BlackBerry.
Uh-huh.
And looks at the game through the BlackBerry lens, and he has a monocle on the BlackBerry. And on her recording with her new phone, he has no monocle. And I know that it's probably edited, but that is enough to fucking send me into a tailspin of questioning everything in my reality. And I honestly thought that on December 21st, we were supposed to transcend and go to the 5th dimension. But where are we now? Is this the 3rd dimension? Can someone just let me know what fucking dimension we're in? Because I can't stand it anymore.
I'm glad that that's the worst thing that happened to you this week, honestly. If that's what's bothering you in your world, I want to be on your level.
I'm sure there's other shit happening that I'm not aware of because I'm busy just hitting beating my head against the wall, wondering what fucking dimension and what fucking day I'm in.
Well, I've honestly got all caught up inside of parallel universes, thinking like we're all existing in a million different places based on choices that we did or didn't make in our past. But
I
I'm gonna
can't
need an
handle
expert
that.
for
I
that.
can't handle that. Like, honestly, like that to me, that's a nihilist version of existence, because then you can do whatever you want in this one, assuming that in the other one you're making a good choice. But it's like, I'm not living that other life. I can't rely on like fifth dimension, seventh dimension
Right.
Lizzie making a better choice than I'm making today. Like,
Right. Well, I'm gonna segue. Comments have been off on this podcast.
Right.
You might have noticed. Lizzie literally texted me and she was like, what happened? I was in the middle of my 10-hour comment session when all of a sudden they were abruptly turned off on me. And you know what? I just feel like this podcast has been such a source of joy and happiness for me. It's been so much fun. And like there was quite a bit of negativity going on in our comments. And I was just like, you know what? I don't want this to affect me and how I move forward.
Yeah.
I don't want the internet's opinion of me to taint who I believe I am as a person. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm the one that has to sleep with myself, live with myself. And I feel like I'm ever evolving into a person that I like, I think is a good person. And I think regardless of anything that's going on, you and I, like, just reading comments about ourselves on the internet,
it's probably not healthy.
is not healthy, even when it's all
I mean, I
praise.
started questioning my own sexuality based on the comment section. So like, I guess like that is probably healthy that you turned it off, because I won't turn myself off.
And it's not a forever thing. I just think for now, it's the healthiest thing to do. I think like taking a step back every once in a while from social media is just a healthy thing to do. I deleted like all the apps from my phone, like not my actual accounts. I'm not crazy, but I did. I did delete them from my phone for the time being, because I think it's good to just like ground yourself every once in a while and like
snap back to reality.
Yeah, your own
But then
reality.
here's the problem. What reality are we fucking in?
Well, I'm in the one that feel like I'm living in right now, not like some
Wow.
alter universe, you
that's
know?
really grounded.
And I think more than ever in the past year, I just don't think it's healthy to like be in our, like even on a great week, be in our comment section and have that affect our next show. I think I can be more unapologetically myself, not reading comments about us.
I totally agree with that. I also think like when they're super positive, you then get like addicted to the serotonin of like a praising
And that's
thing,
not
and then you're
healthy.
just chasing it, and it's like, girl, what happened to light from within?
And that's what I'm trying to get back to. So I've been
Yeah.
meditating, I've been reading again, which has been great.
Okay, notes. I've broken all this down. I gotta tell you, like, I actually really enjoyed watching this podcast. I really enjoyed it, and I never sat down and watched a Ryland podcast, so thank you, Internet Hate, to all of them, because I found something that I can kind of jive with. Seriously, I thought it was a lot of fun. They talk about a lot of like new age type of stuff and quantum physics and like that stuff I completely get off to. That's like how I live all of my life in my spare time outside of YouTube. So I'm gonna dive into what he says, and by the way, you're probably gonna see me excited because I get excited about these topics. So Lizzie is talking, and she says she's concerned that she said she saw something on like her timelines and one of her social medias that we've gone back a dimension. She says we are going into a dimension regression is what she read, and she brought up the Monopoly guy, the Mandela effect, and of course Ryland was like, oh, Shane's made these videos, so I guess this is when Shane had heard. I've heard this, guys, and I don't know about you guys, but like I remember him specifically having a monocle, and he'd run and sometimes it would like whiz off and stuff. And apparently she said that she saw this video of some girl who had taken a video on her BlackBerry a while, like, you know, probably years ago, because it was a BlackBerry anymore, where it came to the Monopoly guy and his monocle, and now she has the same thing and it doesn't have one or something, and she's like, it's probably fake. Honestly, that stuff freaks me out. Like Febreze, I swear it's got 2 E's. F-E-B-R-E-E-Z-E. That's how I remember it. So there's this, I don't know if you guys, how much you know about the Mandela effect, but there's a theory that, I believe it's CERN, right? So CERN was that what is it, the Hadron Collider, I think is what it's called. It's late, so forgive me, I might be getting some of these terms wrong, but I love this stuff. And they had the Hadron Collider, and it was able to create black holes, or the theory of it, and they found the guard particle, and some people are thinking somehow they split realities or something happened around that time, probably between like 2011, 2012-ish. And because that's when a lot of this Mandela effect started happening. I remember it was in late 2015 when I heard about the Berenstain Bears, and I lost my mind. I was like, no, it's spelled Berenstein, Berenstein. I saw these books so much when I was little. Like, it's engraved in me. And I don't know what I think about this, but I am somebody who really believes in parallel realities, that realities can split, and that through your thoughts, your intentions, affirmations, that you can shift realities or shift yourself. I love this type of thinking. This is, again, very much in my realm, very new age. So like, and there's a reason I put this in here. Like, I loved all of what they were saying right here. Like, totally, this stuff's totally my jam. And I've also gotten heavily criticized because apparently I'm not allowed to have my own thought process and way I view the world and tools that I view the world with. We need to knock that down because maybe one day I will hurt somebody with it. It's so much fun to hear so many people who are so angry that YouTube has really censored people that end up trying to thought police other people, especially when they've done their own share of scamming and try to insinuate that that's who I am, even though there's no evidence of that. Tons of evidence for what they've done. Welcome to YouTube. It's a shady business. I'm telling you, I see this on repeat. The majority of these YouTubers are shady ladies. That's why if I do find a good YouTuber, typically, I keep good with them and I stand by them. That's why you'll almost never hear me talk about people except like Mikenactor. Mikenactor and I, we're going on oh my gosh, I've known him 5 years? 4 years. 4-year friendship, and he has never once done me dirty. Never. And the couple issues we've had squashed. Everybody apologized if they hurt anybody. I mean, just a wonderful person, as I've talked about. Another one, RSN. I know he's gotten a lot of crap. And he's gone through the ringer too. He's been really solid to me. And I'm so grateful for a few of the good YouTubers that are out there. But seriously, these people are shady. And I love this. And I'm going to go more into detail because she's actually talking about something that's my jam. I have a story time maybe I should do about this where, like, I think I met a real alien. I am not kidding. Actually, I have another story time. Okay, now I'm getting excited. Okay, no joke. I actually met somebody who had a best-selling book who claims to be an alien. Met them in real time, like real person. Not only did I meet them, at the time they were a recluse and they weren't taking visitors. And I happened to like be able to talk my way into meeting this person. She was very nice. I'll say it's a she. Very strange. I have like so many story times I have to tell you guys. But okay, so let's you guys, oh my gosh, I can't imagine the people that like are coming here who really hate Shane and listening to this and they're going, oh, so you're just crazy. You know what it is? I think I'm bored. Honestly, like I feel like I'm so bored on Earth and I'm so bored with a lot of things and like I love people, but like I'm just not like a lot of other people, and that's no disrespect to people, you know, it's just like I never went through the milestones. I've never been drunk. I don't care to. I also think that partially is why like I kind of look a little younger, like I'm 36 because I just haven't filled my body with those certain things. I mean, I've been ill, so you would think I'd look super aged and maybe that'll catch up, right? But you know, I'm not somebody who wants to grow up and I'm not fantasizing about my wedding and having kids. I'm probably not gonna have kids because of my health issues. I'm more of somebody that's like really involved into like my mental space. You know what I mean? I love mysteries. I love science. Math can go to HELL because that was just the end of me. All throughout school, I had a hard time with math concepts, but science, especially science that isn't necessarily math based, I love it. I love theories. I love theorizing about stuff. This is so much fun for me. Or the universe, how it works, spirituality, and I'm always in the Midwest with people who almost never are interested, so I get really, really bored, so I go on my own little adventures and make my own fun. I know I was supposed to talk about this stuff, and now I'm just getting excited because I love the topics they're bringing up. So I can already hear the comments, oh, you're just brown-nosing for Shane. You know Shane's never gonna reach you. No, he's Shane and Ryland don't care about you. You know what? I'm doing this video specifically to get their attention. You're right. Because that's all I care about is the big attention. I think it's so funny. Or I love the theory that people are saying about me. They like to theorize that I'm on the payroll of Jeffree and Shane. And I think I said this in the other video. I'm like, it is so cute that you guys think that I'm that important to creators that are that big. I know Shane knows of me because like he did shout me out in a video, which I'm so grateful for, and left a couple comments, but otherwise that's it, guys. Like I don't know, I just think it's cute. You guys think I'm a big deal and I appreciate that, but I'm not. I worked really hard at being irrelevant to a whole people and I did it. I succeeded. it. Everybody else is like, I saw a TikTok of Trisha the other day when I was doing research, and she's like, I get it. We're all trying to stay relevant. And I'm like, Lord, I'm not. I just want to build my business quickly and quietly as much as I can, and just say the things I want and be able to live my life. Anyway, let's actually do the video. Do it. Well, the video. I don't know what I'm talking about now. Hold on, body. I might also be getting a little weird and spacey because it's just, it's some POTS dysautonomia stuff. So you guys don't know, my heart rate's kind of going, It's going back and forth. But it's not a severe flare-up, so it's all good. Okay, so let's continue. So Lizzie is saying from, that Mandela effect and thinking that we've regressed a dimension. Now she's like questioning everything. And then, this is so interesting. This is one of my alien stories. I have 2 alien stories. She says, actually I have 3. I have 3. 2 that I'm like, you know what? I feel like this is proof-ish, at least for me, but I have 3 that I could actually kind of go into detail about. By the way, I've also seen, this is no joke, I have seen several, we're talking probably like at least in the 100, like at least around somewhere up into the 100, like, would it be 100? No, that's too much. I'm trying to think. I'm like, wait a second, if there's 365 days in a year, and I'm trying to think of, maybe I've seen a ton of UFOs in my life, and not only have I seen them, other people will see them when they are with me. It is weird. By the way, I have a story that I have proof on with this, and it gives me the best shivers. Like, I've seen several UFOs, and I've had several different experiences alone and with other, there are about 7 people who can verify, yeah, I saw that around me. I'm not saying it's about me. Like, who cares about me? What alien is actually gonna care about me? Unless they've got good style, and they just wanna know where I got my rainbow sweater from. And you know what? AliExpress aliens, now you know, and you can leave me alone. I'm important. Aliens are interested in me, so is Shane Dawson and jeffreestar. You guys just don't know what a big deal I am. Let's continue. She's questioning everything in her rally, and December 21st of this year, she said we were supposed to transcend from the 4th dimension into the 5th dimension, but now she thinks we've regressed to the 3rd dimension, and she doesn't know what's happening. Okay. Fun story. So do you guys remember December 21st, 2012 was supposed to be this really big date. The Mayan calendar was ending, all of these things, right? I have a story. I'm not going to tell it now, but I think I might have met an alien on that day. I can't prove it necessarily, but I have a crazy story one day. I will tell you guys. Sound off in the comments if you want to hear some of my weird alien stories. I'm going to get crap for it, but that's also okay. I'm a weird person, and that's all right. You need all kinds of different people, right? I don't know, I feel like if it wasn't for weirdos, things would be super boring. Not that I'm super entertaining, but I swear, I still every day go, people watch me, I don't watch my own videos, and when I'm I'll message Mike back and forth, and we'll be giggling about stuff or a video, and I'm like, don't watch my videos, and he'll be like, no, I want to watch your video. I'm like, why? I talk quickly, sometimes it's high-pitched, I don't want to listen to me, I'll make my own ears bleed. How does anybody watch me? So I'm so grateful that I have an audience that actually is entertained or enjoys what I have to say. And it's not a diss to you. I just don't get it. I don't hate me. I'm not a hater of myself. I'm just not a fan of myself. If that makes sense. I have to live with this. Okay, I'm wearing rainbow, and then I have the pink pants. So every time I look down, I get excited. Okay, so he's questioned the December 21st, and I guess that December 21st we were supposed to transcend again. I know in the spirit, the kind of new ager spiritual realm and astrology, December 21st, 2012 was a very big date. And it was a very big date for me personally because something weird happened to me and I knew there was something was going to happen, right? But December 21st, 2012 of 2020 is supposed to be when we actually kind of go from so the theory is that at some point we went from the 3rd dimension to the 4th dimension, now we're going to go to the 5th. And apparently, remember that kid back in the day with the little ginger-haired kid? Apparently, I love him. No, not the kid. Wait, what was I saying? December 21st, right? Okay. So the theory is that because we're going to go into the 5th dimension, and I am praying that this happens, the theory is that this is the year that we're going to have mass disclosure of ETs. And I am equal parts as excited and terrified and excited. I think I'm excited, 30 and 30%, so 60%, and then a little bit terrified because I'm also somebody that believes just there are good ETs, there are bad ETs, just there are well-intended people and there are a-holes, right? So, I don't know. Maybe it's also just the fact that I feel like I don't connect with very many people here, and I want to feel like I have some sort of alien family somewhere that's looking out for me and other people. You know, like healthy people do. Healthy coping tools. I'm not telling y'all what to do. This is what I do, and you've learned way too much about my weird side in this video. But don't worry, like my weird side isn't like mean or dark. I just want to have a nice, loving alien family. Is that too much to ask for? You get me on this topic and I get so amped up. I'm pumped. I love these things. I love these topics. So that's what she's talking about. I haven't heard that we're like regressing, but I also don't super keep up with a lot of this stuff anymore. I do sometimes, and I have a couple friends that are really spiritual and they'll kind of send me stuff and whatnot. But yeah, I don't keep up with the astrology probably the way that I should, or what's going on there. By the way, I'm not saying this is science. I'm not saying any of this is confirmed. This is just fun for me. These are tools that help me navigate the world and just get my rocks off. I have a good time. Okay, so finally move on. So then she's saying she's like hitting her head against a wall because she doesn't know what's happening. And then Ryland says, if that's the worst thing that's happened to you this week, honestly, if that's what's bothering you in your world, I want to be on your level. And she says, she's sure there are other things going on, but she can't focus on them because she wants to know what dimension she's in. Now, I've seen some comments, I've seen some videos, I've seen some stuff come up where people are saying, that's a passive-aggressive diss to all of us on the internet. Oh, poor Ryland, he has it so bad, living with rich shit. Like, I've just been seeing, I just feel like, again, Ryland can't do anything right. And go check out my other video from yesterday if you haven't seen it. I have so many videos on this topic where we talked about Ryland again and people were like, oh, he's shading Trisha Paytas. And I'm sitting here going, well, first of all, we don't know if that's true. Secondly, I don't necessarily think that's the case. And third, even if he was doing some passive-aggressive shade, with everything she's been saying and doing, are you telling me that Ryland and Shane are not allowed to stand up for themselves? I find it interesting, and we do this to people who we can see are genuine or kind-hearted. We put them in a bubble. You have, like, people do this. Shane's not an empath because he was mean, or he was rude one day, or he was blah, he came across this way. Being an empath doesn't mean you're perfect. And you know what? The human experience means you're going to get upset. You're going to get angry. You're going to get defensive. You're going to put up boundaries sometimes. The conundrum that Shane's in with the brand that he's built around himself is kind of like the nice person. Ellen kind of fell into this too. Is that anytime you stray away from that, people don't understand. And also because you're so nice, people feel entitled to take from you whenever they want. I know I've had people do this to me on the internet. And I want you guys to understand, people may be confused by some of Shane and Ryland's behavior. The internet is totally different from real life. I had to learn that the super hard way. I swear, YouTube is so shady. It's not YouTube, it's the creators on here. It's the entertainment business is so shady. So people are trying to say like, oh, that's him whining and complaining. Who cares? They've been so bullied and get so much hate. His fiance can't even work right now at his job because there's so much harassment and bullying. Like, you guys gotta understand, when you have a normal job where there's bullying and harassing, even though it's a scary concept and sometimes it can kind of jeopardize you, there's an HR to go to. What HR do Shane and Ryland go to complain? And now he can't even allude to the fact that like, hey, things are kind of stressful. Things are kind of difficult right now. Just because you have money doesn't mean things aren't stressful. Now, money does really help to have that security that, hey, I'm okay and I'm not going to leave the planet because I don't have the resources. That's wonderful, but that's not going to make you fully fulfilled. That just really helps your mental, emotional, physical states. It doesn't fix everything. So anyways, it was just bothering me hearing people act like, oh, Ryland's just whining. I've heard the worst things about Ryland over the last couple weeks, and I think it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Because I don't see merit for it. I'm sorry, I don't. I see Ryland is horrible because he's engaged to Shane, who is gossiped to be a gossip sometimes. Whoop-de-doo! Here while we have Trisha freaking Paytas out there, she's assaulting boyfriends. Not a joke. Look this up. Go see my videos. She is trying to get pregnant by men who don't want to have children with her so she can just, what was it she said? She said, I want to do that and then I want to be able to get the child support from it. She's tried this several times for what she has said. She's said horrible things and we give her a pass because H3 gives her a big thumbs up because they are profiting off of her right now. Shane's big issue is the gossip that maybe he gossiped. I think it's unreal. I think it's unreal. There's these unreal expectations we put on certain YouTubers. Shayna's a person, Ryland's a person, they should be respected. You cannot like them, you can believe the gossip. Let's respect them as people, as human beings. No, we can't do that. Sorry, a bit of a ranty video, but it is what it is. So then Ryland says he has been diving into the parallel universes where we can exist in a million different places because of the choices that we did or didn't make and how the outcomes were. And then they start talking about existence. Lizzie says she can't focus on other lives because she doesn't know if those people are making better choices than she would. I love this concept. I have a friend that we bounce these ideas off of about, like, you know, depending there are so many different versions of realities that are either stacked on top or like right next to each other, of all of these different decisions you did or did not make and how that affected the outcome of your life. You know, and here's the thing, like a lot of quantum physics and a lot of science is now saying those theories they're seeing more and more, it looks like that's very plausible and it could be true. Now, whether or not we can actually jump realities, I would say at this point, we don't openly have the technology. I think the government has so much technology to do so many crazy things. I don't want to say too much about it, but that's something that I've thought for a really long time, and yeah, I'll leave it at that. So I would say, in this regard, I would say we don't get access to certain things, right? Fine, whatever. Okay, so then they go on to talk about, and then he says this, so then he actually goes into the part about the comments, okay? And he says, this podcast has been such, because he said they turned off comments, and people are mad. Oh, they're furious. You turned off dislikes and comments. Why wouldn't he? I wanted to do that when I started this channel, because I thought it's going to be nothing but people hating me. And you know what? I was just like, oh well, y'all, you know, and at this point, I am so tight on my comment game. People get mad at me for doing, I don't care. Get mad at me, I'll delete you. I don't care. If you're gonna be toxic on my channel, you don't need to be here. That is something, like, it's funny because we had this, like, kind of with the skeptic community, there was this kind of, like, idea of extreme free speech, which I still like to an extent, but in that, they would do a lot of bullying and trolling and then be like, oh, you can't delete comments because you need to let free speech, let everything. No, you don't. You have to, you know what? I don't have to let every raving lunatic come to my door and just scream at me while I'm in my house. Obscenities. That's not something I have to do. So I've set boundaries there. So I think more power to him. He says the podcast is a source of joy and happiness for him. And there have been a lot of negative comments in the last week, and he doesn't want this to affect him and how he moves forward. And he doesn't want the internet's opinion of who he is to affect his opinion of who he is. And people are like, oh, he's so egotistical. Oh, he thinks he's some little Buddha. He's Oprah out here, and he's better than everybody else. Absolutely not. This internet game can get very, very taxing mentally and emotionally. I went through it last time. At that time, I was still going through some growing pains. I was extremely sick, and I was very naive to how things were and people were on the internet. And I really let the internet convince me I am horrible. Everybody hates me. I should not be here. I will never have a life. Even the other day, a couple of the videos I did who've got, you know, and my videos don't get super upvoted, and that's fine. If I go against popular narrative, that's going to happen. I also have a dedicated little team of haters that love to just downvote everything, and I don't really care at this point. It's all engagement. It all helps. That's the funny part. I'm like, all right, downvote. It helps. But I think it'll be interesting because if these videos end up aging well and I end up being proven right, then it's going to be really interesting to look back on, because again, what I like to do is I like to challenge popular narrative and popular opinion, and not just challenge it, but show all different sides of a situation. Otherwise, you have a situation with Tati Westbrook and James Charles. I wish, even though I was too sick to do it, I wish I was on the internet back then, because I remember seeing it immediately and I'm like, this is horse crap. Nope, I don't buy this. And I started dissecting it, and I ended up being right, you know, a few days later, which was nice. And that's one of the big reasons what I went through and seen other people go through. I wasn't strong enough to really understand a lot of this stuff. It can really mess with you. Even the other day, I sat there questioning myself about the content that I was putting out. And I was questioning myself, and I was having these thoughts like, am I doing any good for the world? Am I off? Am I this? Am I that? When you have so many people coming at you with so much negativity. And I took a step back, and I had to realize this is just part of the internet game. And if I'm going to challenge popular opinion, this is what's going to happen. And that's okay. And I'm also learning to walk the line of controversy versus stepping back. You know, before I was just gung-ho with whatever message I had without focusing or worrying about the fact that I was building a business and a brand. I don't think I really thought it through that far, if that makes sense. But I've learned and grown Thank goodness. So he says, and yeah, that's the thing. If he wants to have any semblance of mental health, he and Shane, it is perfectly acceptable to just turn everything off and focus on you. Because so much of the hate they're getting is just gossip. We don't know if it's true or not. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna buy, well, a bunch of other YouTubers did though. How many people said horrible things about me and went along with it that weren't true? And I hear people say, well, it was, you were one of the rare cases it was wrong. I've seen so many times. I've seen several examples of this happening to people, and they are completely just bullied offline forever. I'm lucky that I had the right support, and thank you to the person I'm talking about, that I had the right support in my life of somebody to push me to get back out there. And I did, and I'm really happy, but a lot of people don't, and I don't blame them. Had I not had the right support and right people pushing me and giving me information in a way that could help me process and do that, I wouldn't be back here. So I'm grateful for that. I've just seen it, guys, too many times. A lot of us don't see it because those people leave and they never come back. It is so traumatizing because what happens is, and I've said this before, we are social creatures, and as social creatures and being social by nature, we need community to connect with those around us. Even those people that are kind of withdrawn a little bit, this is just something that's in our human nature. So when our community turns against us, so for instance, when you have people that try to ruin your reputation, especially if it's for no reason or if it's lies, it is very traumatic to have community turn on you and then you are left without community. That is a very traumatic experience. I don't care who you are, and that is a form of bullying. That's a form of abuse in itself, in my opinion. So, anyways, stop. I'll go into this. He says he has to sleep with himself every night, and he thinks he's evolving into the person he likes and a good person, regardless of what's going on. He says, and what's going on isn't healthy. He says even when it's praise. So he was talking about, look, being in the comments, it's not healthy either way. If it's really negative where people are just praising you all the time. I've seen this with YouTubers. So many YouTubers get so pumped full of themselves, and especially if they become real negative and their lies and their BS because they have people cheering them on. Negative and positive echo chambers can be very detrimental both ways, to both sides of your ego, right? So hey, I'm all for it, and he's speaking my language right here. And then he says, and then Lizzie made a joke. People were mad about, like, well, the comment section made me question my sexuality. And I've heard people get mad about that. She's making a joke. What she's saying is the comments can be so detrimental, it can make you question even who you are, which is what happened to me. The internet and what happened to me made me question, what is it to be a good person? How do you be a good person? How do you do that? I had to go through a real existential crisis in myself over the last couple years trying to figure that out. And then he says they're not going to keep them off forever, but for right now it's the healthiest thing to do. They're taking a step back from social media, and he thinks that's healthy. And you know what? More power to you, boo. So honestly, I don't know what people are upset about. And I'm not trying to just sit here and brown nose and what was that? I don't know what those noises were. Butt kiss. I guess those were butt kissing noises. Why did I inhale? When you're in a butt, do you inhale? I'm going too far with this. I've never been in a butt to know. Ew, bodies are everything is so weird on this planet. No disrespect, if y'all enjoy it, go for it. It's just weird. I feel like my hair is a mess. But anyway, it's my favorite brush. I love this brush. I've had this since I was 12. Yes, and look, it's still decent for being, how old is it? 12 and I'm 36. 24, is that 20? 24 years, 24-year-old brush. But yeah, so I just thought I would talk a little bit about this. I just kind of put it out there. Can we let Shane and Ryland be people? How about that? And you know what, by the way, I want you guys to know, I think everybody should be people. Trisha Paytas, let her be a person, right? I know I've given her a lot of criticism, but she's still a person. I think she's a person that is very destructive and doesn't care to necessarily fix it because she gets financially rewarded. She gets incentivized for being destructive. But, people are people. Let's let people grow and evolve. All people. Let's give them a chance, Especially if it's just going off of rumors. My goodness. I just have a hard time believing you want somebody's existence to end over the gossip of gossip. That is when there are so many worse things and worse people out here. I love y'all, but I don't understand it. I truly, truly don't. Also, if you guys haven't seen it, I did a video of Shane recently, and because it's it's not even pro Shane, it explains why Shane felt it was okay to kiss a 12-year-old in the mouth. Because people have gone nuts. Well, that's a victim, and I understand what they're saying, but I show the context because I've heard people argue with me. There was no context of the 90s and 2000s where that was okay. Well, I lived it, and I showed 5 different contexts of where that was even acceptable up until 2017. We had tens of thousands of people in arenas cheering on adults kissing children. This is not a joke, and it was accepted across the board. And I've heard people say, well, you can't blame movies and media for that. No, you can, because we didn't have social media back then, so the media literally shaped everything about us, just like it still does now. It's just a lot of people, I think, they don't understand the world without social media to understand how we grew up. Social media is what helped us realize, oh, these behaviors are not okay. We didn't know. We didn't have access to readily available information about it. So, yeah. I need to end this video because I have more to talk about and we'll say later. Okay guys, take care. Lots of love, lots of blessings. No matter what you're going through, just do your best to get through it. And remember, we are all human. We are all flawed. We are both good. We are both bad. We are both well-intended, and sometimes we are selfish. The best thing we can do is just continue to try to be the best people we can be and encourage that in those around us if it is appropriate. So with that, I'm wishing you guys lots of love. Give me hugs, mwah, kisses, stay safe, focus on your health, and I hope everybody is well. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!